So I understand your proposal was a little different. Can you explain how?
Well, yeah, it wasn't really actually a proposal, but when I took your mother home to meet my family in Illinois, and I was talking to my two sisters that were there, Joan and Peggy, and I said, they really liked Connie, and we were talking, and I said, yes, I really think she's the one that I want to marry and for the rest of our lives. And
I was sitting right there, so, and I didn't.
I forgot to let her know about it.
Yeah, he didn't say anything to me, so I was just sitting there. So we never talked about that at that time. And then a couple weeks later, he kind of brought it up again. Well, he brought it up again.
And then when we got back home, we went to a restaurant there in Leavenworth, and I just asked her, I said, we're 22 and 18. I said, why don't we just get a motorcycle and travel all over the country? And
You left out a part.
what did I leave out?
You left out get married.
Okay, well, naturally, I said get married and get a motorcycle, or maybe I put the motorcycle first. I don't
Yes.
know. But anyhow, she didn't think a lot of it, I don't think. And I told her later, I said, why don't you just think it over and a little bit and let me know.
Yeah.
And that's,
Then that Buddy Holly song was out, which he introduced me to, Buddy Holly. And he played that song over and over again in his car whenever we get in there, and the Think It Over song. And then he would sing it. He was a good singer, and he was singing.
was is the key there.
No. And he would sing it and look at me, and so finally I just said yes. And so he was very happy. And we got married, and we planned our certain date we were going to get married in. And in those days you didn't wait for a year's engagement because you got married fairly shortly after the proposal. And anyway, at the dinner table that night I was going to make an announcement, and before I could, my brother tapped his glass and made the announcement that he and his longtime girlfriend were going to get married on that same date. And so I didn't say anything. And then we set another date, and then his sister called and said, hey, me and my boyfriend are going to get married on this date, and that was our date. Can you guys come up? And so we were back to the drawing board, and we found a date in July instead of June, and it was July 30th. We got from my parents, July 30th was going to work. And but my mom was trying to get the Nazarene church because my uncle was going to marry us, and he was a Nazarene pastor. And my cousin would come and sing, and the church was not available on any of our dates. So my parents had us at their house. They cleaned everything out, the living room, the dining room, and they set up chairs and decorated it like it was a church with the altar and everything. And so we got married at their home, and my uncle came, and my cousin and his friend came and sang, and we had just one, I had a wedding dress, which was my sister-in-law's that just got married in June, and I wore her dress, and she was my bridesmaid, she wore my bridesmaid dress. And him and your best friend, who was your best friend at your wedding? Gene, my brother, was his best friend there. And so we got married. His friends tried to kidnap me back before the wedding, and I wasn't having it at all, and didn't think it would be a funny thing to do at all. So they gave it up, and we got married. Then we went on our honeymoon in our 57 Chevy red and white convertible. And they drove us, to the reception. We had the reception, and then we left and we went to this really nice hotel in Kansas City that he had booked way ahead of time. And we got there, and I went and sat down. He went up to register us in, and they said, all we have is twin beds. And we said, twin beds, that's not going to work. So
It ain't gonna work at all.
no, so we left, and we drove around. We found another Holiday Inn, and we checked in there, and we split a 7-Up that night, went to bed. And the next morning I got up and I wanted to go swimming. I got in my suitcase, and I didn't have my swimming suit. I only brought my high heels that I wore to the wedding, and shorts and tops. And so we called my brother and his wife, and the ones that just got married the month before us. And they went to my house and got my swimming suit and my shoes. And so they came up with us, and we went swimming together. I've got a picture of me and her standing there, and underneath it says, "Our honeymoon." And of course, we got one of the two of us too.
Oh, that is like that.
And but it was fun. We had a lot of fun, and we both worked at the same place there, and they were teasing us quite a bit.
Yeah, that wasn't the greatest honeymoon for sure for
No.
you, but
It went with
through
the proposal.
through the 60 years, we've had some pretty good
Yeah.
times with our anniversaries and
Yes,
stuff.
very nice.
And I love you as much today as I did then.
I love you too.
Thank you.